Good afternoon outside, as you can see. I thought I'm actually got the phone resting on the fence, so let's hope it lasts a long time there. So guys, good afternoon, and hope you're enjoying this amazing weather. I had to come outside. Oh, see, I dropped my phone there. Mustn't touch. Gotta just, fingers crossed. If you suddenly see a patio floor, you know what's going on. So what do I want to talk about today? We're talking about our diaries today. So check out my diary, and this is really topical at the moment for me anyway, and for a client, because I knew I wanted to speak to you about this today, but I've literally just got off the phone to a current client. 20 minutes ago we had our bi-weekly catch up, do a 15-minute consult on the phone, see how things are going. And she's stressed. She's going through hell because of lockdown. She's still working. Her job is super busy. And in fact, over the last 2 months, we've had this recurring conversation about how she hasn't got time to do anything. She can't fit in. She's got a goal to meet. She's missing it every week. Despite what we're doing in terms of exercise and her food, she's failing at. And to be quite frank, and she won't mind me saying, I'm not going to mention her name, she's failed for the last 8 weeks to hit her goals. And that's not why I'm here. I'm not here to make sure someone doesn't hit their goals. I want to make sure they do hit their goals as her coach. So we've got into a deep conversation today, and I had to come up with this line is, "Hi Rifat, have a nice walk. Hope your weather is as nice there that is here." So the conversation went, I will call her for the purposes of this conversation Jane Doe. Jane, so you've missed your goals again this week and last week. I think it's time to stop using the excuses work as an excuse not to look after yourself. She said, I know that. I know I've got to do that. And I only look after myself. That's what I've come to you for. I've been working there for about 9 months now, and we've made some amazing progress. So I said, well, it's time to do something about it. We need to work your diary out, because she is crazy busy. I get that. She working roughly 15-16 hour days. I said to her, well, how do those days pan out for you? So she told me she gets up at 5. She'll do a bit of housework, believe it or not. Then she'll get herself ready, and then she'll get her clothes ready, and she'll prepare some lunch to take to work with her, because she's still working at another place, or she's just gone back to another place. She's not working at home anymore. And then she gets there, she goes to various appointments. She's got appointments back to back throughout the day. She'll slot in a little bit of time for lunch. She'll eat at her desk. Then she'll leave work about 4 or 5 o'clock. She'll come home. She'll make dinner. She'll go back into the office at home and carry on working with more calls, more appointments. So I said to her, that's a lot. You're taking on a lot every day. However, could one of those appointments be for you? I said, what do you mean? Can one of those appointments be an appointment when you have time for yourself? Well, I said, I'm really busy. But if that was already blocked out in your diary, if at 4 o'clock every day your diary says time to exercise, time to eat, or time to prepare food, and it's blocked out 4 to 5 every day, 5 days a week, could you do that? It was already in there. You can't, it's non-negotiable. Could you do that? Well, yeah, because if it's already blocked out, other people can't book into my calendar. So there we go. So we're going to book you out every day, 4 to 5 p.m. And because she agreed that was the best time for her. And at that time, she's actually going to make sure she's home for that time. So the first thing she does when she gets home at 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock is do a home workout, which I've given her to do now. And then she's prepare food for the evening meal. And that way she knows she does the home workout, she finishes the home workout, she's feeling really good. She prepares amazing food and she eats amazing food, because what's happened at the moment, she's not doing her workouts, and she's eating crap. She's not feeling good about herself. But now between 4 and 5 every day, she's working out and she's cooking her food, all in an hour. Not bad, eh? And I said, come the weekends, because the weekends are a bad point for her, when actually you're still working, but you're not working quite as hard, but you let things go at the weekend. You eat whatever you want at the weekend, or you have been. Now you get up in the morning on a weekend, and between 8 and 9 on a Saturday and Sunday, you do a workout. Now that workout may be a home workout I give her, which is high intensity, maybe using a little bit of equipment, or it may be just going for a walk. But you do something every day, 7 hours a week, non-negotiable. and that sorts out your food and your exercise for the week. Because in that hour a day, she's not only cooking, say between 4 and 5, not only cooking her meals for that current meal coming up, that evening meal, she's preparing her breakfast and lunch for the next day. All in the hour. She said she can do it. Why can't she do it? Whilst one thing is cooking, something else is cooking. And once you finish that one thing, go on to the next thing. You prepare 3 meals in one sitting. We can do it. We know we can do it. We've got the capabilities to do it, and she knows she has the capabilities to do it. So what we've come to this agreement is now she has 7 hours a week out of what, 144? Is that right? 144 in a week, I think. 7 times 20 is 140, can't work it out, 7 fours. 168 hours in a week, 168 hours in a week. And I'm asking her to take 7 up, just 7 up, not the drink 7 up, 7 of those hours, and allot them to her, just herself, to exercise, to get her mind right, to get her food right. And now it's in her diary. So guys, if you're struggling to fit things in, and you may not be as busy as Jane Doe, that's what we're calling her, you may not be as busy as Jane. Do you know how DOE came about? Who knows what DOE stands for? Any clever people on here? Because I do. I found out last week. Leave a little secret. DOE is dead on entry. So it comes from America, but many years ago, when people arrived at the mortuary and they were dead, obviously, and they didn't have a name for them, they would call them, say, well, they're dead on entry. Later became dead on arrival. However, dead on entry, Doe, and they just put a John or a Jane in front of it. There we go, a bit of a fact for the day. But we're back to Jane Doe. She now has in her diary 7 days a week. She's got exercise, she can look after her mind, she can get her food ready. Everyone's happy. And I now know in 2 weeks' time when I speak to her next, she would be a changed woman, because it's now in her mind that she has to give that time to herself. Otherwise, what's the point of doing it? The other 159 hours in the week, what's the point of if you don't look after yourself, the other 159 hours becomes so much more difficult. It becomes harder to sleep, it becomes harder to work because you're not as focused. You're not as clear about things. You don't get such good sleep. So make those 7 hours a week. May not be 7 hours for you, maybe 14, maybe 3.5. Make that time just for you. Clear your diary, put it in your diary. Do it now before anything else gets booked in. Allow time for yourself. And if you genuinely think you haven't got enough time, I'm afraid I'm going to call you out on that, because everyone's got the time. If you have to get up half an hour in the morning to do it, then make that your half an hour in your diary. Or perhaps consider this. Don't watch TV. Stop watching Netflix. Stop peeing around on the phone, even though you're now watching me on the phone. You're allowed to do that. I'm the one thing you're allowed to do on this phone. But, just stop doing something and replace it with something which moves you in the right direction, closer to your goals, and makes you a better, healthier, happier, fitter, long-living person. So, Rifat, what we said, I hear her. I have to be stubborn and put myself first. Yeah, it's going to be a struggle, Rifat. Of course it is. Some days are still a struggle. But with struggle comes something positive. Nothing easy. What's that saying? About nothing easy being good, nothing difficult, nothing easy comes to those who are good. I don't know, there's a saying out there somewhere. Someone will come back to into what it is. It's about if it's hard, it's worth it. And we know it's worth it. So let's, find that time. Even if on certain days you know that time may only be 15 minutes, and put 15 minutes in your diary. But find time to do something for yourself, because by putting yourself first, everyone else benefits. Your family benefits. Her family benefits. Everybody benefits. So, something to think about there, guys. Check out your diary. Make it a good diary. Make it full of good things, but make it full of things about yourself once a day. You decide. Hello, George. And on that note, not because you're here, George, on that note, 𝗵𝗶𝗿𝗆, it's also about creating a headspace. Lose the clutter in your mind to help focus. 100% 𝗵𝗶𝗆, thank you. You've got to just think about yourself. You've got to just give yourself time. Because if you put yourself first, as I've just said, everyone else benefits. And that's not being selfish. If anything, it's being unselfish. You're allowing your time for yourself to grow and understand, and perhaps read a book or watch something which is positive, listen to a podcast. Allow time for yourself and everyone benefits. On that note, I am going to go now. I'll leave you to it. Have a great day. Enjoy the weather. But for now, Russ Boy, out.